Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of The Soul of a Story, where we ask writers and artists to share why they wrote or did what they did and how they did it. Today, I'm very happy and excited to welcome Elaina Parsons to the show, a great writer. I've known her a few years now through a mutual publisher of ours, Vinely's Press. Lane is also an artist, very talented on many things, draws, paints, writes poetry, writes memoirs, right? She can do it all. And a nice person too, which is really wonderful, talented. Her new book, I love her title. I hope I get it right. Chomp Press Paul. Did I get that right? Really cool idea. I'm gonna ask her to talk a little bit about it. Um, so let's dig in because you're gonna want to hear what she has to say. She's a very deep person, and she does tarot card readings too. So let's just leave it at that. Elena, hello.
Hi. I
And
have to mention if you hear a
yes.
dog barking,
Oh,
hopefully
okay.
there's a lot of dog lovers out there.
We do. I love them. I don't care about
Mommy's
anyone
busy
else.
right now and they're very concerned.
How many doggies you have?
Two, and they're little and they're
Okay,
wonderful, but they're also annoying.
that's okay.
Um,
We'll ask them to
so
chime in.
thank you for having me, John.
You're very welcome. And where are you beaming in from? Where are you right
I
now?
am on the Jersey Shore,
Okay.
south of Asbury Park, north of Cape May, somewhere in
Oh,
between.
nice.
Yes, I was born and raised here, left for about 15 years, and now we are raising our children, our two children here, my husband and I. And then we're going north after we
Oh,
move
okay.
west.
Where are you
Yeah.
gonna go?
Oh, just probably Asbury Park area half the year, and hopefully Vermont the other half of the year.
Yeah, I know a little about your bio. You say you like winter. Do you still like winter after this winter?
I do, but one storm was enough, one big one. When it starts trickling into March,
Yeah. No, it's
but I
not
do.
good.
I still,
And
yeah,
how close to the beach are you?
about 12 minutes.
And
Yeah.
is that part of your life? Are you a beach
It
person?
was growing up,
Okay.
and it is now with children. Depends. We
Okay.
like evening beach. We're not
Mm-hmm.
sit out, in the baking sun from morning until we're, but a lot of families around here are.
Yeah.
We prefer like a nice 3 or 4 p.m., you
Okay.
know,
And
beach
and for
time.
those 15 years, where were you? Where were
Oh,
you
I was
hanging
all
about?
around Mercer County, New Jersey, in the Princeton area.
I know that. Yeah.
After graduating from Rider University, I kind of fell in love with the Princeton area, and so I
Yeah.
would rent rooms. This was back in the day when you could rent a room for 400 a month and live
That's
with
right.
graduate students while you started your career.
Sure.
So I hopped around, did that a little bit of New Brunswick, that sort of, if you know New Jersey, that area, Mercer
Uh-huh.
County and Middlesex County, yeah.
So you're a Jersey person. You're a
I am,
Jersey
and
person.
of course, I've traveled a little bit. I wouldn't call
Of course.
myself a jet setter, but we have fallen in love with Vermont.
Hmm. Well, it's
So
easy to fall in love with Vermont.
yeah.
Are you a skier or a
No,
hiker, or what do you guys like to
we
do?
we like to bike.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. New Paltz, New York is a favorite of ours
Oh,
too.
I like New Paltz
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
you had all the spots.
Yeah.
Um, I just came back from skiing. I hadn't skied in 30 years, and I went skiing
Oh
in
boy.
Utah with college friends, and I went on the bunny hill and wiped out and ruined my ribs, and I'm not going to ski for another 30 years, and I'm not going to live probably another 30 years, so that might be it for me.
I applaud you. I don't know. I haven't been
Yeah.
on skis in about that time.
Yeah.
Probably
Well,
exactly that. And whew, yeah.
it wasn't a good move. So, and I love New Jersey too. I lived for many years in Hoboken, and
Great spot.
yeah, I really like that area. And I love the Jersey Shore. I used to go to Manasquan when
Hmm.
my
We love
younger days.
Manasquan. Yeah.
Very fun, very fun.
Point Pleasant, Manasquan. These are all places we'll go out to eat.
Deal.
Spring
Yeah, yeah,
Lake,
it's very nice.
Brielle. Yeah.
Real. So let's talk art because you're many things. You're many things. And I
Thank you.
mentioned her really fun writer. I'm going to put a link to your books on this for people to buy. I really
Thank
recommend it.
you.
You get a full meal with you, the way I see it. But tell us a little bit about your artistic life, your writing life. Just give us a background on how you came to be at this moment in time as an
Okay.
artist.
I always wrote, I was always creative in my teenage years. I thought I was going to be the next Tabitha Soren of MTV. That's a little
Oh,
timely. Some of you know that reference.
I know it. I know it.
So I thought I'd
Bewitched.
be her. So I was into the idea of journaling pop culture and creative ways of saying things. And I kept a scrapbook. And then I kind of let it go through my 20s and even 30s and started a family. And I
Hmm.
became a teacher. So I was
Okay.
still able to be creative, but in the classroom. So I was a special education teacher.
Nice.
And then when I turned 40, 9 years ago,
So you're 32 now. Okay. Okay.
I don't know, something just kind of came over me that year like, oh, I gotta start writing again. Oh my God. Like I'm a
Hmm.
writer. So
Yeah.
I would still teach and write, and I just started banging out all these manuscripts and in the beginning when you're happily
Yeah.
querying books and you don't know anything, that's when it's
Right.
joyful, when you don't know anything.
Delusion's wonderful. Yeah.
Yes, yes, the ignorance is bliss in that
Yeah.
sense. And then I started, oh no, I have some learning to do. So I
Hmm.
started taking workshops, and I realized I'm not really a middle grade writer like I thought I was.
Hmm.
And then I found that creative nonfiction in the memoir space, essays,
Yeah.
that was my sweet spot.
Nice.
And so started writing, and I came up with my first collection, Italian Bones in the Snow, which is a
Great.
25,000 word book. It's fun. I'm very proud of it. A mix of poetry and just some quickies. I was afraid to say too much. I don't know.
Hmm.
I just didn't want to, I was afraid to say too much about anything, but it just came out that way. And I'm
Right.
proud of it. And then I wrote a young adult novel, not proud of it. No, it's the most over-edited book, but I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to badmouth the press. But I think that
Okay.
I was green, the press was new. They're doing beautifully now. So they
Okay.
figured it out. They're
Yeah. Yeah.
putting
Yeah.
really great anthologies out
Okay.
rather than young adult. And then with Vine Leaves, so Vine Leaves published The Italian Bones in the Snow, the first collection. I
Right.
had a great experience with Vine Leaves. As you talked about, we are colleagues
Yeah.
with that.
Yes.
Then the young adult novel, and then a short story collection that was fun. But more recently, I said it all that I needed to say in Chomp Press Pull. I grew up with a lot of sensory stuff, and so I
Yeah.
wrote about it
Yeah.
before it was talked about.
I love your titles. You're so good at them.
Well, thank
And
you.
but so share a little bit about Chom Press Pulp, the sensory, because I think it's a really high concept, brilliant book.
Oh,
So
thank you.
tell me a little bit about it.
Thank you. So every essay, you could read it out of order. I didn't want to write a novel memoir. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like, and I still feel like I'm unprepared to do that. I don't know that I have that kind of style just yet down. I have more learning to do. So
Uh-huh.
it's an essay collection. This chapter 2 is called Teeth. And so I talk about how I had a thing with chewing everything and including my mother's back seat of our Buick station wagon, those green leather
Wow.
seats. I've always had to
Wow.
have some
Wow.
sort of, you
Yeah.
know, and a nail biter. And then I have essays that talk about how my father's air car freshener, that tree, the tree.
Uh-huh. I do know.
You didn't know that that was what was making me throw up, in addition to the motion sickness while sitting in the back seat. So this combination of motion and the smell and the rolled up window. And um, so I have a lot of essays like that, but I also have a lot of essays about pop culture. I'm really interested in the way
Hmm.
we grow up with pop culture and how it affects us and
Right.
what we're watching and listening to and seeing, and the sticker generation, the sticker collecting generation,
Oh
the
yeah.
gum chewing generation, bubble gum. I'm just
Yes.
interested in anything that's like tactile and colorful. And so I have essays, anywhere from, talking about my teeth to talk about Julio Iglesias and his voice and how he was my Spanish uncle. No. Um, to
Oh,
Katarina
s-
Witt in the
the skater,
1988.
right?
Yeah. And the scrape of the ice and a lot of talk. I'm a big Madonna fan too. She
Uh-huh.
appears in all
Sure.
books.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love her. Get
And
into the
I also,
groove. Get into the groove, Elena. Get into
a
the groove.
great song.
I know. So I like talking to you because all I get all your references. You know what I mean? But I'm older than you. But I love. I haven't heard Katarina Witt and Julio Iglesias and Madonna in one conversation in a
Yeah.
long time. So
Yeah.
what about the sensory thing? So you're a sensory person. I know you're an
Yeah.
artist and all that. What? Because I think it's really such a great way to get deeper into a story or into a
Mm.
thing. Into, like, you talk about biting the thing, now I'm interested in the Buick. You know what I mean? Or whatever the car that you were in. Like, and what's that family ride like? But why do you think you're like why are you so, for lack of a better word, obsessed with it?
With,
Tactile, sensory, like
well, I
what?
don't think I have a choice. I
Okay.
notice though that my father and mom have things too.
Oh, okay.
So I just think it's a genetic, I don't know. Or is it that we're Italian American and we're so in tune with the smells of the foods?
Yes.
And we are just that, we come from a people
Yes.
that is artistic, if we're going way back,
Right.
the Renaissance, like sometimes I feel that I am 98% Italian, by the way,
Okay.
according to my DNA. And my maiden name is Batista, which is
Okay.
derived from John the Baptist. So I
Oh,
like to
nice.
think that somewhere in this lineage, yeah, that I was related to artists and people who worked in textile things.
I
I
think
don't know, it's just
so.
who I am.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it can also be negative.
In what way?
Well, just this weekend, I was in another city, and the barometric pressure in the air, fluorescent lights in the building I was in, the heat, people's breath, the noise, like when it's this perfect storm, I guess the
Mhm.
regular, regulated person can just go through a day and handle it. Yeah, it's
Yes.
not even something they really think about. But
Overwhelming.
me, it's like a swirling cyclone of I'm gonna throw up. And I did.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I listen.
Does
Well,
that make sense?
it makes
And
100%
so
sense.
I track this from my childhood up until now. I've definitely learned to manage it as I get
Yes.
older, big time. I know that cold water is my friend, on my face. I
Mm.
know how
Oh,
to breathe,
good.
a little bit better, but sometimes none of that works. It's rare.
Yeah.
Airplanes are, I've learned
Sure.
how to do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. No, I get it 100%, and I
Yeah.
like it. I like it because I like how you evolved as a person. Because I do this a lot. I'm OCD. I was born that way. I got it. And when things are good, it's a superpower. But you got to know how to handle it.
Yes.
You got to know how to harness it. And just like you said, when it's not good, it's painful. And so I think I don't know if this is with you, but you come to accept, well, this is who I am, and how do I don't want it any other way because I wouldn't have this. But
So
yeah,
if I can
absolutely.
say,
Yeah, please.
another colleague of ours, maybe I'll name drop because she's fabulous and she
Okay.
has a fabulous book. Kathleen Collins and I were having
Oh,
dinner.
she's a Rochester person like me.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Kathleen and
yeah,
and she's like, your book, I have to say one thing when you talk about your sensory issues, and this really hit me in a way I haven't been able to stop really coming
yeah,
back to it. She's like, you don't really feel bad for yourself because I
yeah.
don't.
No,
Because if I didn't have these things, it wouldn't make me, who I am
absolutely,
and
absolutely,
able to write these more
absolutely.
interesting and sometimes funny and painful, but never like, oh God, poor thing. I don't want anyone to feel bad for me.
Right. No,
I even talk about how that sensory stuff came into play when I had major surgery in 2019. So, it comes into all these big life milestones, but I don't want anyone feeling bad that, that I
yes,
wasn't diagnosed at a young age
yes,
because it
yes.
made me who I am.
That's right. That's right. You figured it out. No, it's
So the
beautiful. I
fact
mean,
that Kathleen
yeah,
noticed that in my writing was
isn't
like
that nice?
special. Yeah.
It's part of you. In the most basic thing, you would say you're a feeling person,
Yeah.
or sensitive is the
Not
word.
emotional so much,
No, no,
but
I meant,
more,
but
yeah,
feeling, yeah, feeling
feeling. Yeah.
and sensitive, and that could be also too. You're
Yeah.
sensitive. And I read a book a long time ago because most artists we're trying to grapple with that in some ways, because there's pain with sensitivity,
Mm-hmm.
and not just physical, emotional. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But the world needs us evolutionary wise, right? And this is going to be, I hope it's not so cut and dry, but you need the people that run over the hill to fight whatever. And then you need the people that on the top of the hill saying, you know, I don't trust the look on that guy's face. You know what I mean? I get a bad vibe here from that tree over there. You know, it kind of balances out the world. You
It's
need the people
funny
that it's really
because
true.
I'm somewhere in between those two people.
There you go. We
Yeah.
need those too.
Right, like the
You,
intersecting of that. I don't know. I wouldn't put myself, I would put somewhere like I don't know. It depends. Yeah, what face they had on. Maybe I would have run over Does it smell
yeah.
okay? Is it too hot?
That's no, you just need it. You need, you know, and I
Yeah.
like to sometimes take things back to this kind of primal evolutionary human thing. Like you need someone to write the stories. You need someone to
Right.
interpret things. You see someone to be a little suspicious. You
I
need
see what
someone to say
yes.
it's too hot in here. And then you need the people that don't care about anything. They're just sort of
Yes.
like shallow and simple and happy as clams. So
I know. And I would, oh,
I know, but we
oh,
wouldn't trade it. I've been there. Sometimes you say, "Oh, I wish I would." You know, no. They're beautiful their way.
they are.
We're
Yeah.
beautiful our way. And, but
Yeah.
I dig it, and I really, I think you have tremendous amount of material to draw on in this world. You'll never have a dry spell in terms of your art
Sometimes I want
creativity.
one because the
Well,
wheels
you
are,
can't, okay?
I know. I know.
I
Yeah.
have to ask. So 98% Italian. What's the 2%? Do you know?
Yeah.
What's the
Spanish and Greek. So still of the Mediterranean.
okay?
Yeah.
One and one? You think it's one? You think it's an even
Who
or
knows? And then it's always changing. You get the updates that,
okay.
well, wait, we found this, but it's always the
Well,
Italian keeps going up.
well, look at you, and you have a you know our publisher that we love lives in Greece, Jessica. So you know you got the whole and your friend right here, John McCaffrey, is from Greece, New York.
Oh,
Greece,
you
New York. I'm from Greece, New York.
not
Named
Ithaca,
no, no.
Greece.
Ithaca's a little east of us. We're Rochester. I'm from Rochester, but a
Right.
town called Greece, which is
Wow.
about it's up near Buffalo and all that. But our little town was named after Greece, and it was inspired by their um, independence.
Now, I have to ask, as a pop culture fiend,
Yes,
when the musical Grease came out, did you guys, was that like a thing you did or no?
I tried. No one followed me. I tried to tell Greece is the word, but no one
Right,
cared.
right.
I tried to dress up like that, and I wrote Olivia Newton-John many letters, but she didn't. You know, how's
That's
that?
amazing. That's
Well,
amazing.
you're a lot of fun, but let's give the people what they came for. So,
Okay.
um, and also too, and we could talk forever. I love
Yeah.
talking to writers like you and artists.
Thank you.
But let's
Likewise.
get into this, why we're here. So I like to learn about prolific, thoughtful artists, writers, why they do certain things. And because you have a big body work, I'm going to ask you sort of to narrow it down. Is there any piece or project or something? How did it start? Like, what's the kernel of the idea? And then how did you take it? If that makes any sense. Like, how did you, because a lot of people I know, they'll have the idea, but then they don't know how the next step or what, you know what I mean?
So
What's, oh, so I'll let you, and I
you
will
want me
shut
to,
up now. You go.
I'm going to hone in on a particular project that's new, that's not out yet,
Okay.
and talk about, because I'm always thinking forward.
Okay.
And I just like to, yeah, I did Chom press pull. Yeah, but now it's just how yeah, it's my sun sign.
Okay.
Not to get into the zodiac, but
Okay.
we're forward thinkers, the Aquarian. So
Okay.
the age of Aquarius. So the kernel that I've always, and this is interesting though too, because this theme appears in all of my work. So see, you're nailing something with this concept because this
Good.
kernel appears in every single book I've published, but now I just really want to hone in on it. And it is the idea of a first love or a first crush,
Oh,
or this
nice.
idea of infatuation with something or someone, and how it appears all over 1970s, 80s pop culture. I mean, really all pop culture, but it really was
Right.
heavy hitting. I think feel like in the 80s and 90s, just the idea of a crush and these
Yes.
teenage idols. Well, that's always been, but I'm not going to worry about the decades.
Uh-huh.
But so I put together this idea of collecting from other writers their idea of their first crush. I want to hear from other people. I don't want to write it. I want
Hmm.
to hear, and I do have 24 voices that have
Uh-huh.
submitted to me for this particular kernel of this, what is it that we want? How do we know what it felt like to really want or desire something or someone, and
Mm.
how it overcame, and I from a young age, maybe 5 or 6, I was kind of into this idea. I remember sitting on the beach.
Hmm.
It's in my essay called Nectarines in John
Okay.
Press book, and watching the couples, and like just imagining what that was like to be part of a couple, and like to be
Oh.
so connected, and the
Uh-huh.
idea of this intimate connection. Yeah. And not even about like sex or like the physical part, just this like, well,
Mm-hmm.
a little, but but more like, yeah, like how do you get that? And when
Right.
does that happen? And ooh,
Right.
that sounds fun. And and then my college years, I got to live that. But
Right.
like,
There you go.
but then it also not just about people, it's about ideas and certain
Right.
things too. So that kernel, it's funny because it's in Italian Bones. I touch on it. Even Heart and Salt, that short story collection is really all about relationships of women.
Mm-hmm.
Even my young adult novel, She Can't Live Without This Boy.
Wow.
Yeah, and John Presspool, this one strays a bit, but there's still a lot of essays in there that you can't help but, yeah, go
Right.
there.
Right.
So I thought, let me just do this. Enough with the beating around the bush. I'm gonna put together, yeah, this
Right.
anthology. Yeah, I don't know if that's,
No, it's
yeah,
brilliant. I love it because this is something that I'm learning more and more when I talk to folks like you about this subject is, and it's something I've always believed, like we kind of scratch the same itch as artists, and we're both interested in it and trying to figure it out.
yeah,
And I liked how you take it now. I've done a lot. I don't want to write anymore. I want to like hear what others are saying because it feels like the end game of this for you. It feels almost like a letting go of this part of you, or not.
yeah, no,
But
no,
it, but
yeah,
it's a wonderful human thing. I mean, we all have had them, and we've all there, and we still do, and it's really worthwhile.
yeah, to
So but
explore,
I
yeah.
like that it's from 5 years old. This has been something, and I could even see you as you're talking about it. It's ethereal. It's not exactly easily defined for you,
It's not.
you
I
know?
remember, yeah, and it always comes back to the songs I was listening to and the TV shows and, yeah, the pop culture of it, and how it made
Yes,
me feel to watch Love Connection or Three's
yes.
Company when they were dating, and just like this idea of
Oh God.
coupleship, and also I'm fascinated how it's changed with, I have a teenage daughter, how very much the
Wow.
dating thing has
Yeah.
changed in
Boy,
the way that it is not the same
that hits
way.
me. I think that's really interesting because I do
Yeah.
think we're a product of our times, and I
Yes.
was around then, and I love Three's Company. I love Jack Tripper and all that, and Mr. Roper, and um,
Love
and
Boat,
and
Love Boat.
I'm an '80s guy. I'm the music. I think it was a big part of the music then too, was these crushes and like, Jenny, Jenny, what's my number? And I wish I had Jesse's girl, like all these songs and all that. And I do think now is different. And it's fascinating. I think kids are a little cooler than we were or something.
No, they are. They are much more in tune with developing deeper friendships and really they're not spontaneous and kind of just dumb the way they're just very
Yeah.
savvy. But I don't know if they're as joyful and
Mm,
uninhibited
I
as
know.
they're
Let, let,
not. And I'm
this,
only speaking from what I
yeah,
see.
I know.
They're
Let me,
more
yeah,
appear,
yeah. Let
yeah.
me ask you, because I've heard this more than once, and I teach young people too. I teach college age, and I see that too. Do you think is it us projecting because we were different, or is it you think it's a real thing? Is it do you know what I'm you know the
I
difference?
think social media has altered
Yeah,
it. I think it's also maybe us projecting it.
Like one
Um,
generation, like Orwell
yeah,
always says,
we're sounding old, and maybe we don't
like get
really
off our
understand.
lawn, that kind of thing.
I think it's a combination, but I think with this overstimulation of social media and TikTok and all these different platforms that it definitely has affected the way I think
I
they're
think so.
exhausted and they don't want any more interaction. And
Boy,
we were
that's
not
right.
exhausted. We were like, unless we
No,
had the person near us, what we didn't have a
no.
screen or any, so
Boy,
we had,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We had no choice but to
yeah,
have the person to person connection or the phone call
yeah.
for hours.
Boy, I think that's very wise, Elena. I agree with
No,
you. No, I think you just nailed it because
maybe.
we didn't have the amount of stimulation. Like I always say, like there's a million ways to meet people nowadays. Dating sites, this. Back in my day, you met someone, you held on to grim death,
Yeah.
right? You didn't know when they were coming through the door again.
I
And so,
always, yeah, I
yeah,
tell my daughter when I was in college, there were no cell phones. So if they had to reach me, they had to try my dorm room, leave me a
no,
message.
yeah, you found someone. Boy, that was. But
Yeah.
also, I do think there's this sort of reaction when you're so overstimulated in a world like ours that the human body wants stasis. And so the action is to be chill, is to be
Yes.
kind of not. And so we interpret that as less joyful because we don't see them jumping around, so and so called me. But it's just that I think it's suppressed and it saddens me a little. So,
So I sometimes I'll say that. I'll be like, "Oh, it's kind of sad." And my husband will be like, "They're fine." Like he kind of like he's like, "You're projecting." That's what he
see,
said.
that's why we need everyone in this world, right? To get us in balance, right?
Correct. That's why
Okay.
we need, yes, like you said, we kind of
Wow.
need, yeah, the person who's watching and
So, so
yeah.
what? So this has been an idea you've had in your life.
Yeah.
This is something you've written about and all that, and you come up with now. What takes you to that next level? Because putting together an anthology, 24 voices, editing, this is a big enchilada. All right. So how do you get the to take it to that next step?
I'll let you know. No,
Okay.
no, right now I've gotten the submissions. I've edited most of them for the first round. A lot of them will only need one round. Some might need two. You know how this works, having
Right.
published books yourself. Um, and then I'll see, what my word count is. And the thing that I'm excited to get to is to put them in the right order
Nice.
because I have a mix of fiction, a mix of memoir, essay. I did not want poetry. I was clear about that. I wanted all prose. And to really get to the heart of it, I just don't want it to be like, here's a collection. The introduction is important on what I'm trying to say here.
Hmm.
To prepare, I've listened to a couple of new books. I've listened to some nonfiction books on relationships and desire. Oh, I don't have the titles because I didn't know I'd be telling you, but I did some homework and found some titles to actually have some credible information about how old the idea of infatuation and listening to, stories about Abe Lincoln's secret
Oh,
homoerotic or
oh, that's good.
homosexual relationships. hmm
Sure.
Yeah. So,
Not with Grant. I hope not with Ulysses Grant.
no, I
I
don't
hope he
think
did better than that.
he
Okay.
did. I think so. So, and how normalized actually it was more than now. But don't get me started on that.
That's okay.
I don't want to
What,
get
what,
political, but yeah,
that's okay.
it was, yeah. So, I've done some of that and I've listened to some actual fiction novels too to kind of get, you know what I'm saying, to get this
I
sort
do.
of like, how am I going to say what it is I want to say in this introduction?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And to make this
yeah.
collection work.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because when I hear you talk that way, I hear writer, 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 because only writers get excited about putting things in order
I am
and
so
things like
excited.
that. Trust me, it's Orwell
Which piece
101.
goes where? And do I need something in between it? And I can't have too many pieces
No,
same.
it's
And I might pull from public domain and pull
trust
some
me.
old text.
You have a sickness, my friend. It's called Orwell. Orwell, who he's one of my guys. He wrote this thing, Why I Write, and it's almost like a diagnostic test for
Okay.
writers. And
Oh,
one of them is we like the way words look on a page. We like them to be ordered. We just aesthetically we like it. And I pull it out sometimes because I'll mentor or counsel, and they'll say, "Well, I'm not really a writer." And I'll say, "Well, let's see." And I'll go through the steps. And it's really, I recommend that for anyone who's
oh,
sort of,
or
it's called
okay.
Why I Write. And he's got about 8 reasons. And you also said one earlier. You said something to say, and
Yeah.
you have something. So you are a writer.
Also, I just remember the novel that has helped me a lot with this anthology and thinking about the idea of crushes and like human relationships and even
Yeah.
relationships to non-human things that keep us that we consume is called Crush, and it's by Ada Calhoun.
Oh,
And
nice.
it really hones in on though the idea of marriage and monogamy and polyamory, but really at the soul, talk about and what it means to be human. So that's helped me a lot think about
Well, I'm going
what
to
I'm
ask you,
trying to
I'm
say.
going to put you on the
Yeah.
spot. This is a big, and we maybe a few more minutes here, but I really want
Yeah.
to get at it. Um, is a crush, in your opinion, always healthy, or is it unhealthy as a relationship? Is it, do you what's your sort of feeling on infatuation and crushes? Are they,
I think they
um,
can be all kinds of adjectives. I think they can be healthy, unhealthy, somewhere in between. It's inevitable though. The human, we are imperfect. We are, you know, we crave community and being seen and heard and understood. And so that sort of travels into that territory. So I think it can be a lot of things.
well, let me ask you, I'm going to get deep here because I'm thinking, because in my life I've had crushes and all that, but the person I end up with, my wife, I love her so dearly, but it wasn't a painful thing. It was more, so what, and you're just, what's the
So
word?
this,
It's
you're
not a
kind of,
scientific thing,
oh,
not a
yeah,
scientific
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But where do you think people who end up in lasting relationships, do you think they start more often by a crush or more of a sort of, you know what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
Is
And
I mean,
you're kind of talking about the theme of the novel I just mentioned
yeah,
that I
okay.
listened to. Yeah, she delves into that. Um, I think the healthier way is someone you're not completely and totally infatuated with.
I
I
think
think
I
that,
think that's true. And why do you
however,
think that? Why do
well,
you think
here,
that
but see,
first?
this is what I can speak from experience. However,
Yeah.
I have more of a crush on my husband now after, I'm not lying, after
Uh-huh.
21 years than maybe I did in year three.
That's brilliant.
So I think, yeah, that
But here's where I'm
it's
I'm with you
complicated. It's
because
complicated,
I feel the same with my wife.
right? It
I
grows.
feel I feel more infatuated with her, but it feels a healthy. It's more like a
That's
admiring
not the
and
right word. Yeah, infatuated with.
yeah, more. I'm more interested. I'm just more.
Yes,
Whereas
fascinated.
so I think in that regard it's healthy. But I think in the beginning, I like what you're saying, like that kind of like it's not real in the beginning. You know what I mean? But you can, I mean, listen, there's plenty, I'm sure there's millions of beautiful, happy couples that started off where they're just gaga about somebody. But
Yes, yeah, but and then it's like, why are they Gaga? Is it Gaga
yeah,
here? So it's then you get into yeah, and we watch these movies where they just immediately are drawn to each other and get
yeah,
physical right away. And does that
yeah,
last? Most of the time it doesn't, but sometimes it does. So I think
yeah.
human beings
No,
are
it's a
just a
big
mess.
topic.
We're a
Yeah.
mess. Yeah.
No, well, we got, I should have you on Valentine's Day. We'll do a whole, next year. But I always say
First, celebrity crushes. Who
yeah,
was your celebrity crush?
my little clever thing is that there's positive and negative attraction. And, we're attracted, let's say negatively, we have a bad father and we're, someone's father like, and sooner or later, you got to address the negative attraction if you're going to keep going in the relationship. That's sort of my thing. And I think crushes are based a little bit on the not a healthy side, but that's just my opinion.
Well,
So,
I will give you a little reveal that a couple of essays I have, and I mentioned earlier, some of the crushes or the infatuations are with things like food. and
Good.
body image and appearance.
Yes.
And
I know
so
what you're
it's,
saying.
yeah, so it's really interesting how like other things can take over and we could become all consumed. And that's what I wanted. I know we're just talking about human to human thing, but it's
Right.
all just very intersecting
No, it's
and then
good.
those things then affect who we're attracted to. And then it's, there's so
Right.
many threads and like
Right. Right.
tributaries. Yeah.
Right. Well,
Hmm.
this has been more than, and I was very excited, better than I thought. This
Oh,
is
good.
such a
Thank
good
you.
talk. And
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, but I like to,
well, it's really, I think because we're talking about such a basic human sort of interesting thing,
yeah.
but tied into your work
Thank
and
you.
what drives you. And I really love that you pick something that's forward because I can see the excitement on you.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's all about, kids
Yeah.
out there. If you, and
Like,
an
what's the
idea,
next thing? Yeah.
right, and an idea for something can be an old idea. Okay. It just, I mean, it doesn't have to always be original,
Yeah.
like to that moment. And because it becomes original no matter what. And you just keep going until your
Mhm.
subconscious creative mind says enough,
Who
right?
was your first celebrity crush?
Me, I'm gonna tell you, Cheryl Ladd.
Okay.
She now this is dating me. No, no, I'm lying.
Oh,
Okay, ready? Well, my joke is Cheryl Ladd. She was, Charlie's Angels.
yeah.
She was a
Yeah.
replacement angel, so it made her a little more approachable. That's why I liked her.
That's hysterical.
But I will honestly say, my first celebrity crush was Tina Louise on
Ginger.
Ginger.
Wow,
I
okay.
used to watch the show and kiss a pillow. I thought she was so pretty.
That
So
is the stuff. Yes,
yeah, I
that is the
know, I know.
stuff.
Don't tell anyone. Everyone's out there. So because isn't it
Mine
the whole
was
thing?
oh,
My generation was
okay.
always like, who do you like, Ginger or
Marianne,
Marianne? Which one? Which one?
played
Which
by
one?
Dawn Wells.
I was a Ginger. So
Okay.
I think it's the same with Three's Company. It's either Jack Tripper or Mr. Roper. Who do you like more? Right?
That's funny.
Who was
Yeah.
yours? Who was
So
yours?
the character name was Danny Amatullo from Fame, the TV show Fame. The feathered hair, played by
Oh,
Carl Imperato, I think.
okay.
He's that. Oh my God, the feathered hair, and he used to wear a gold cross, but he was a dancer and he wore jeans and oh no.
Did
Yeah.
anyone else? Did any of your friends share the same thing, or was
No,
that was yours?
God, who did oh God, there a lot of them were Outsiders fans like Rob Lowe and
Yeah, Rob Lowe
You
was
know,
cool. Rob Lowe
yeah,
and Youngblood, right? Rob
yeah,
Lowe in
yeah.
those
I don't
days.
know, but I like them. Well, that makes sense. I like the more arty. Well, I
Well,
think Tony Danza was a crush too, which is weird because he
I
was
liked
old
him
and I
on
was, yeah,
thing. I
yeah.
liked I wasn't a Farrah Fawcett person.
No?
I liked I don't know. I think I like more cute back
Okay.
in those days. I'll have to go through it.
Right. I know.
Um, anyway, it didn't work out. Tina Louise never answered my calls or Cheryl Ladd,
Yeah.
so uh, well,
Yeah.
listen, thank you so much. Everybody, I want you to buy
Oh,
Elena's books, look at them, and check her out. She's
thank
really
you.
worthwhile.
Thanks for
Really
putting this in the
worthwhile.
world. Thank you for putting
Absolutely. And
this.
maybe have you back. We got to talk more.
Yeah.
And just people out there, follow your instincts, follow your curiosity, and keep having crushes because no matter what age, I'm gonna have a crush later on a jelly donut, so that's okay. So
I've got some ice cream in the fridge. That's,
there
yeah.
you go. Okay,
All right.
thank you,
Thanks,
Elena. Bye
John.
bye.
Have a
Bye
good
everyone.
night.
Okay, bye
Bye.
bye.